Welcome back, everybody, to the Kendrick vs. Drake Beef Podcast. We're back for the last time, unfortunately, for this series anyway. I'm joined by my esteemed co-hosts. I got Ray.
What it do?
What's good, boys?
Wagwa Delilah.
How you feeling about the last one?
Man, it's been a ride. It's been lots of ups and downs. I don't think I've listened to Kendrick and Drake as much as I have for the last 5 weeks, in a, to put it in a nutshell, you know what I mean? Like, I've been listening to these guys' whole back catalog, trying to pick up where they dissed each other a little bit. So I'll be good to get to other music that isn't Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah, facts. To be honest, initially I was listening to a lot of it, but as time's going on, I was like, I don't know how much more I can do with this, just day in, day out.
It's a bittersweet moment for me, man. Glad we finally got it done. I think we've wrapped it up quite nicely, but it's going to be sad to not be here battling with you guys day in, day out.
So when we set out to do this, it was really just to have some fun with it, because we have had fun with the beef. Two of the biggest artists, rap artists ever really going at it at the start of the year. It was a lot of fun, man. So we've enjoyed doing this. This episode is going to be a bit more of just like a victory lap. Want to just wrap things up a little bit. Then we want to have a bit of fun doing a ranking system between all of us for the beef tracks that have come out. See if we can get some level of agreement between these two hostile opposing opinions over here. But before we do that, I guess, let's just kind of quickly wrap up what we've talked about and also where we see these guys' careers going. If we see the careers getting affected, I mean, we already touched on the Super Bowl thing with Kendrick and how maybe the momentum from the beef and the relevance that he's gained from it might have carried into him getting to be chosen. But yeah, Drake, I guess, is on the flip side of that, since he's the one that's quote unquote probably copped it the most from the beef. If we see his fame, his influence kind of diminish, or do we see it staying the same? I don't know who wants to take it first, boys, and whether you want to start with Kendrick or Drake.
I'll start with Drake. I think Drake has taken a hit. I mean, I think a lot of people might have lowered their opinion on him, but as Ray's mentioned probably a few times already, he might be a bit too big to fail. So I don't think it's going to affect him in the long term too much.
Yeah.
Whereas for Kendrick, I think all this attention he's been getting over the last 6 months or whatever it's been has probably brought him more to the mainstream media, brought to the spotlight a bit more. So I think he'll start to have a wider fan base, especially during the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. There's probably going to be a lot more people paying attention to his new album releases than previously. I don't know if that's going to change his style of music or if he's going to become a bit more poppy than he was previously, but I just think that there's going to be more attention on his releases.
More songs with Taylor Swift, do you reckon?
There's no bad blood there, so I don't see why not.
No, fair enough. That would be interesting.
You didn't see bad blood?
Yeah, we know what you did, bro. We know what the song is called. Relax.
Of course you would.
Wasn't he on that verse? Wasn't he? Didn't he spit a verse? He did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, didn't he?
What?
He's talking shit again.
No. What was the? Didn't he do a song with Taylor Swift?
He did.
Yeah, it's one that Drake does the ad for with Nike, where he's dancing and singing along to it.
Triggered. No, I don't know. Did you want to add something to what he said? No. I agree. First of all, Drake. Nothing's gonna move this guy, bro. This. He's like.
I call him the US dollar. Too much is riding on him to fail.
Bro, he can't fail. He cannot fail. If you think this little insignificant little exercise, whatever you think it is, relax. If you didn't think it did, if it's gonna crush him, it ain't. But the guy just released 100 gigs. He just did that for free, right? He just did that for free for the people, whatever. Each one of those songs is, 5, 10, get him into the Billboard's top 60, 50, whatever. It just automatically just comes in. You know what I mean? He's an unstoppable machine. He's like an entity. You know what I mean? When he drops shit, it's just going to work. It's as simple as that. The formula works. He's gathered too much of a fan base. And in terms of artists not messing with him, nah, hell no. People from Atlanta are still we mess with Drake, blah, 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 taking pictures with him, whatever. Maybe in Compton, I don't know, maybe in Compton, just in that small portion of the world, is going to be the only part which will maybe like, oh, well, we don't really want to work with you because your enemies with that guy. So that may be the only place, but everywhere else in the world, everybody knows you get the Drake stimulus package. You instantly go into like number 30. You instantly become success. Look at that guy, Gordon. Man, he's just like, boom, 3 tracks. It's just, it's a machine. It's completely unstoppable.
Yeah.
This would be a speed bump, even if that's like being nice.
Yeah.
That being said, though, sorry, I was going to say, that being said, I think with the whole new fan base that Kendrick's getting as fans, Drake's also going to get a new fan base of people that might not like him so much just based off this. They might not know his stuff previously, but just based off this, they're like, oh, this Drake fella, isn't he the one that diddles kids and shit like that? Like, it's not going to...
Yeah, they're going to believe everything that Kendrick says. They're going to hold up like...
The
Bro,
fact is-
Drake was bigger before Kendrick, and he's going to be bigger after Kendrick. So what?
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah,
I'm not
whatever
arguing that.
fans you're trying to talk about, like they
I'm just saying
already
it's a
they already
perception
know.
of new people that are coming in. He asked me a question. I'm just saying the
No, I know,
perception of new
I know.
people that are coming in. There's just
Like,
someone
who
that
is this
Kendrick's
fan
getting new
base?
fans.
Is this like what
The new fan
is this?
base?
Yeah.
The people who don't really pay attention to rap or hip hop, but very
So
interested in this
they're
rap
going to have a
battle.
bad perception of Drake.
I think they will. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
So they won't see like all the success he's had it before. They're just going to hold him to this one minuscule in like rap battle,
They
which
might
is
not
just
have
a
even
beef
heard
of
of
just
Drake before.
of people just like yelling
They
accusations
might
at
not
each
have
other.
really known Drake like this before. This rap battle, like I said, this rap beef took it to another level where people who don't even like rap were paying attention to it. These are the people
I
that
think
I'm
it
talking
lifted Kendrick. Drake was already at like global superstar, whatever status. Like he was already there. Like he's been around, bro. Like he's been around. Like I think there's this one thing that you cannot dismiss. It's how big Drake is.
Yeah.
And his reach, like you cannot,
Yeah,
like
I don't
you can
deny
you can
that.
call him all the names in the world, but his numbers, he's one away from Michael. Beat it, nigga. What are you talking about? Like, come on, man. Like we don't want to hear that weak shit.
All right. You guys, you broke the clinch by yourselves. I was getting ready to
No,
get
no,
in
no. But
between
I'll
there.
go into Kendrick. I'll go into Kendrick because I didn't talk about Kendrick. So Kendrick, how he goes from this is going to be very interesting, right? And I want to save this for some of us for my final monologue. But obviously, he's using this. He's using this clearly as a tool because that was his last album on TDE, right? I think contractually.
Mr. Morale.
Yeah, that was his last one, right? So for me, I see this as it's a brilliant play by Kendrick to get his fame up to another level that it wasn't at before in terms of using it to create this new sound that he's going to create. You know what I mean? Because I think Top and all them had quite a lot of executive say on some of his albums before. You know what I mean? I think this last one was probably one they didn't, which is why people claim it flopped because it wasn't his authentic sound. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect, whatever. Like, I don't think people from the hood wanted to hear about Auntie Diaries and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's with all due respect. So I think he strategically used this to capture a new fan base, which is then going to launch into potentially a new sound with his new, I think his Lang PG, is that his record name?
PG
PG
Lang.
Lang? Yeah. So I think he's going to use it. And I think if it is, it's another well-calculated move by Kung Fu Kenny.
That's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's what I foresee it because, you know, I think he missed with Mr. Morale. You just admitted before, none of his top 5 songs are going to make your. Oh, that's a little sneak peek. That you know what I mean? Like I think he's going to use it to go back to what he wants to sound like. Whether it's like going out and being more of a Pulitzer Prize winner, or you know what I mean. Not so much the Kendrick that we think I know. That's just the theory, of course, but it there's a lot of evidence that backs it up.
Yeah, I'd think he's gone for like a more celebratory sound especially after Mr. Morale, and maybe aided by the beef as well. But he needs to put out something with a bit more of a bop to it after that last album, I think.
That being
And
said,
this
though-
would be the perfect gateway.
So
to
when
kinda
you say
land.
bop,
every album.
do you mean more like the like swimming pools, drank? Like are you talking like
King
those type of
Kunta,
songs?
all of that
King
kind
Kunta?
of, yeah, just something with a bit more, celebratory.
The thing is, each one of his albums has had a complete different feel to it. So, not to say that this was caused by this beef, finding out that Not Like Us had the success, could just be part of his plan all along. You know what I mean? He's brought the jazz, he's brought the blues, he's brought the rap.
Well, that's what I think. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be because of this beef,
Yeah.
but that might help him kind of head in that
Capture.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
But it's
just work off
definitely
that
it's
momentum.
shown him that he can do it. Like
Yeah,
But it's gonna be
Facts.
but it's gonna be interesting how it goes without the Drake stimulus package. But I don't know if that's just gonna be a shadow that follows him around, which is a great package to latch yourself onto. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Or he's just gonna
Great
keep moving.
package to latch yourself into is crazy, but we'll let it slide.
Bro, 3 of his biggest songs have been him talking about Drake. Come
Yeah.
on, bro. Come on. That's just facts. Like that, not like us. Those are his 2. Apart from there's a song on Damn. Is it Humble? Humble. I think Humble was his most commercially successful one.
Yeah.
So yeah, two of the top 3 is him talking shit about Drake. I mean, come on, man.
He's just giving the people what they want, baby.
Come on, man. Come on.
We'll see, man. I think, Kendrick is not going to bow to any whims of any other people. If that's the sound he wants to go after, I think then he'll go after, a bit more upbeat sound. But also, I can imagine him just dropping whatever the hell he wants to feel like.
But he said that
Even
with
if it's
TDE, apparently there's a lot of fighting within amongst each other because of what Kendrick wanted to put out versus what Top and the crew wanted to put out.
Yeah,
so I
right.
think that's why it was a bit of a it didn't quite feel as cohesive as like some of his other work. So I don't know, like who was it Kendrick who was the one like doing like, you know, Good Kid, Mad City, or was it more Top? Like who's creative influence? Like obviously he's rapping, like he's
I don't
rapping.
think you could take anything away from.
Like obviously he's the one rapping
Kendrick
and doing the
having
bars.
soul and full credit to Kendrick. Obviously, he's got a team around him, but Good Kid, Mad City, I think he talked about that's an album that he'd been meaning to do, that whole storytelling way. I can understand influence from executives always obviously thinking about the bottom dollar and what music might stick and be a bit more popular. But I think Kendrick and his label, I'm sure towards the end of his career, had some kind of formula or some kind of like, you know, they would have been working seamlessly together. But Kendrick just needed to branch out eventually and do his own thing. So I don't think there was anything outside of a natural partnership with the label that kind of got Kendrick's music to where it was. It wouldn't have been them pushing him in a certain direction. It would have just been collaborative. So
But don't you think it's obviously it's a little like maybe this could just be the time and the place or whatever, but the one album where Top and the crew stepped back was the least commercially successful one of his.
no, I don't think so, man. It comes a lot with just territory, being an artist, having released so many
I reckon
albums
they'll-
already. It just happens. It's fame or popularity always tapers off until you run into some controversy like what's happened now, and it's kind of catapulted him again. But I don't think so, man. I feel like Kendrick always was going to put out music that he wants to. I feel like as an artist, he's always stood by that. And I don't think TDE would have got in the way of that. But
Potentially,
we'll see.
I don't
We'll
know.
see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the
But
future holds,
it's
man.
a theory. It's a theory. Do I believe it? I mean, the numbers tell me the story. I'm a data guy, so those numbers tell me the story. But otherwise, let's see what happens with his next project. Looking forward to it. Freed from the shackles of TDE.
Yeah, we'll see what the future holds for both these guys, man. It's going to be interesting. Moving along, how do we find this beef ranks? We've talked about. I think we're in agreement. This is the biggest beef that we've kind of witnessed. How do you think it's going to hold up? Even, I guess, how do you think it'll age? Some of the things, I wonder how it's going to age in a few years, if it's just going to wear off over time or if some of the stuff is going to really stick. But, yeah, how do you see it in line with all the other beefs, all the other popular beefs in hip-hop?
Look, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, and I don't want to downgrade the Pac and Big and the West and East Coast beef. But this is pretty big. Like, everybody was tuning in. I think if it wasn't so, I guess I don't know, I'm trying not to insult the artist. A lot of hearsay, a lot of allegations, a lot of, it sounded like it was a lot of like, he said this, he said, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a pure lyrical battle. It became more like I'm going to spill your dirt more than you spill my dirt. You know what I mean? So it kind of felt a little bit like high schoolish.
That's the part that I wonder how well that's going to age.
I think that's not going to age well. And I think that's why it's really hard to put it past like those really great beefs, Jay-Z and Nas, Pac and Big. Like, because I feel like they were just so about that life, and if you misstep or went to the wrong place, you were going to get clapped up. You know what I mean? Like, there was the danger levels were so high, even though we weren't obviously in the 90s, so you couldn't be as plugged as you could be in as this one. But because of the danger level and the way this one turned into a bit of I'll expose your secrets. No, you tell my secrets. No, I won't tell no truth. You won't tell. No, it was all like, it got like, it watered it down a little bit. But in terms of the social movement that it created, in terms of like, especially the Twitter, X or online and everything like that, I don't think we've ever seen anything move like that.
Yeah, I was going to say similar thing. It wasn't as impactful, I think, as the Pac and Biggie beef. I think that also transcended beyond rap even a little bit.
That was East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, that
Kind of killed hip hop for like the next few years.
Yeah,
I think.
People were like, "Yo, let's make peace, man." You know what I mean?
it was
Like,
all about peace and love after. Because, like I said, it did get real after that. But just because we weren't around in the 90s, was just because of our age and all that kind of stuff. This one, for me personally, is the biggest beef just because I was invested from the start and I was keeping up with it as it was happening. It felt almost like you're in the room with them as it was sort of going on, you know what I mean? So that's probably the only reason why I'd say it's bigger. But in terms of just rap beefs, I think still Pac and Biggie still got it.
Yeah. Something about that beef, and I guess like the way that it happened in those times as well, really heated times that really just stick. Because I think a lot of people were saying the same thing when this beef was popping off, that, you know, they feel like it's really industry-like, and comparing it to how much more serious that is, you know, when they talk about what's beef, what's really beef. But no one wants to see that happen either. So that's why, to me, I kind of appreciate this one more.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because we want it to be really beef, but we don't want the stuff that comes with the real beef. You know what I mean? So it's like a double-edged sword. Yeah.
I think the only way this beef will transcend the other ones is if these allegations that they're making are true. if Drake is hiding a daughter, if Kendrick actually did hit his wife, you know what I mean? Like, if these things, like, actually, the words that they're saying did actually come from facts, then it might be like, oh, whoa, this guy wasn't just catfighting.
I think one thing I wanted to touch on with this beef as well, which I really appreciated compared to the Pusha T one, because you did mention how this beef, Kendrick never revealed anything new like what Pusha did with his in his beef with Drake. However, what I thought Kendrick did really well in this was setting the tone and the escalation. I feel like Pusha T went 0 to 100 so quickly on Drake, and when you do that, maybe you're not feeding into the beef enough for people to catch on. Whereas this one, Kendrick and Drake were really just feeling each other out, kind of like if you compare it to a boxing match. Kind of like early few songs were just more subtle jabs and feeling each other out. And then by the time that it got to the more serious songs where, you know, they were really throwing out some of those accusations, it felt like the build up and the escalation were a lot smoother than, say, what happened with Pusha T. And I feel like maybe that's where Pusha dropped the ball on his beef with Drake, is that he didn't bring the people along for the ride.
That was over before we even got a chance to
get exactly. So then there was no momentum that really built into it. Because me and Akram talked about how with this beef, initially it felt like just really the more core fans getting into it. But then as it went along and the shit kept escalating, it was easier to bring people along for it and then kind of filling them in on how it got up to where it got up to. Whereas with the Pusha T one, it escalated so quickly and it was just like, bam. There was no, like, the ceiling was already reached. There was not much higher for it to go. And then Drake obviously stepped back as well. His hand was might have been forced to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas with Kendrick, because he did kind of string him along, or the beef strung both of them along, you couldn't like just back out of it. It kind of it built up. I just felt the escalation.
But I feel like they both were stringing each other along, because we can honestly say that, like, you know, obviously that. Like Not Like Us and Family Matters, I think that's when they both peaked. You know what I mean? So they were all like both doing you know what I mean? So it was like they were playing around, you know what I mean? So they both did that element really well because of both parties. So both fan bases were involved, you know what I mean? Whereas like the Pusher, it literally went from Duppy to that, and then the hand was forced, right? Like, so it was just like, and who knows what other material they might have had. Did Pusha empty out the clip and he had nothing left? But I don't know, man. The way he came out, I felt like he had something back.
He did say it's a surgical summer, so he said get back at me.
They always say that. Rappers will always say, I got plenty more.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're bluffing or not. But yeah, just the entertainment value. It's almost like, you want the climax to be later in the beef, kind of like what happened with the Kendrick and Drake beef. Whereas Pusha and Drake, the climax was like right at the start, just hit the that
Yeah, it's like
pinnacle.
a good TV show. You want it to start the first few episodes,
Yeah,
bit of character
like a movie
development,
kinda.
get to know what's going on, and then towards the end, when
kind
the
of
real shit
each of
happens.
them name dropping different
Yeah.
crew members, and you kind of starting to pick up
My
on
only
some of the
beef-
running themes in the.
I
In
was
the
gonna say
beat.
my only beef with this beef was that similar to Game of Thrones, like the last few episodes were too rushed. So when we just kept getting songs too quick, like it should have been like I almost got to a competition like I can release faster than you. Here's a song, blah blah blah. Like we didn't have time to digest it and appreciate what was actually going on.
Yeah.
And I think also with that, the quality of it got less and less because they were forcing shit out so quick.
quick.
Yeah.
Like they could have taken time and done some fucking triple, quadruple entendres on that shit. You know what I mean? Like made us really think, but like they were just like, pre-record, read this, that. It was just, it got it a little bit at the end. And
Yeah,
obviously,
little
but then
rush.
it's so hard because if they dragged it out to like one song every 2 weeks, like, are we gonna get over it as well because they're taking so
That's
long?
true
Like,
as well, yeah.
it's tough to
fine
decide
line.
what the perfect sort of angle to take on this. But yeah, this was the biggest. Like, I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like, we had Drake and Meek Mill. I think that went on for like a little bit. Who else went at each
50 and
other?
Ja.
50 and Ja. 50 and Ja. Ja just got killed by the whole Interscope.
Quick one. Quick. one.
All of them. Like G Unit were on him. D12 were on him. Like Dr. Dre. Everybody was just
They got him
crushing
out
him.
of there quick.
That
was a
motherfucker, like,
sweep.
bro, he ended up playing in like empty NBA arena courts. Like, you know what I mean? Like that man just got like sent to the shadow realm. You know what I mean? Like so quick. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's another big beef.
I can't
I
even
think we
Not
covered most of
recently,
the
yeah.
big ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big
unless
ones.
you really start going into like
To the
little
deeper ones, yeah.
Yeah. But moving along again, so we wanted to do like a bit of a rankings thing for the last episode. We thought we might have a bit of fun with it because we obviously got Ray the Drake fan over here, Akram the Kendrick fan, and we want him to rank the other artists top 5. Is that what we're agreeing to do?
Let's do top 5.
And
And
then-
top 5 of each.
No, for the other persons.
No,
And then we're
the
gonna
songs of the disc. The songs of the disc.
Ah, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. From the
you're
song.
doing Drake's
Top 5.
top
How
five
you
for
rank the top
disc.
5
Okay,
for
yeah.
And
Drake.
then I'll do
And then we're going to do a combined top 5, I guess, for each. And we'll use the screen for that one. See if we can come to an agreement there.
Alright.
But
So everyone do it 1-1, 2-2 kind of thing? Or
No,
just
no,
you
no,
give me
go
five?
straight up.
We'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, you go. I go. I
okay,
can go.
1-1?
I can go.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Starting from 5 to 1.
So from the
Right.
shittest song
Yeah,
first.
bottom top. Oh, and we should say the songs we're talking about here. For Kendrick, we've got Like That. We're going to include Like That.
And
we're going to
First Person
include
Shooter.
First Person Shooter from Drake. Then for Kendrick, we're going to include obviously Euphoria, 616, Not Like Us, and that's 5, isn't it?
Meet the Grams.
And Meet the Grahams. And for Drake, we're going to do First Person Shooter, Push Ups, Tailor Made Freestyle, Family Matters, and Heart Part 6.
Yep.
So
So yeah, number 5, Heart Part 6. Should be.
no surprises there.
Couldn't
I don't
rank that
think-
low.
So
enough if I tried.
what's Kendrick's new track? What's that one called?
That's not in this beef.
The Black, it doesn't even have a title,
Untitled.
but
Untitled.
yeah.
All right, number 5, I guess for Kendrick.
I can say it for you. It has to be Meet the Grahams.
Yeah, Meet the Grams. Yeah.
The way you shit on it, I already knew that was
Yeah.
coming.
I mean, yeah. Like, I don't know if we would need a bit of a soliloquy, but a verse about someone that doesn't exist. Yeah, get out.
All right, number 4,
Number 4.
Get out my
That's what I got left.
Tailor Made, Family Matters,
It's got to be Tailor Made.
Push Ups, First Person Shooter.
And the thing is, I actually don't mind Tailor Made, but it's 4. Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
What am I up to? Number 4. So
4
I've
for
got
Kendrick.
Euphoria, 616, and Not Like Us,
And like that.
and Like That. I reckon number 4. I reckon number 4 is gonna Like That.
Number 4 is Like That.
Yeah.
Ooh, with that beat.
Hey, look, the
Allow
beat
it.
was sensational, but like Kendrick crying for attention, it didn't move me. Like
I was
he,
expecting Euphoria, to be honest, but go off.
he did. It's kind of like the thing he did with Control. He's like, "Ooh, look at me! I'll name drop. Whoa, yeah, whoa, look at me. The only way I'm relevant is when I call out other people. So that's why, yeah.
Fair enough. For me, number 3 would be... What do I have left? Family Matters. Push-ups. Push-ups number 3 for me.
Ooh, push-ups.
Yeah.
Number 3. I think it has to be Euphoria.
I was gonna
Expecting
call you out if you didn't say
Yeah, I was
Euphoria because you
expecting
shout on that and
Yeah, no, Euphoria.
nicely when we talked about it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Number 2 for me, this one could go either way, but I think I'm going to give it to Family Matters.
Oh my God! What? What?
Arguably, that only leaves your number one not a diss song. If you're gonna go with first person shooter,
Yeah.
that's
That is
nuts.
weak as hell. That is the weakest list. That
Nah.
invalidates that list so bad.
Akram, I'm gonna bite my tongue, but
Yeah, you come on. You better
good
cook
and well,
it.
Family Matters should be number one. No, you can't. Ain't no take backs here.
Yeah,
I said it could go either way, but yeah,
Talk with your
yeah.
chest,
You went
brother.
either way, but you still decided to choose what way to go.
I did. Stand by it.
Mr. Ray.
And I think, yeah, this one conflicts me. I think, look, I just have to get over the fact that it was K-botted so much that I have to put number 2. I have to just get over it because otherwise I'm going to seem like a hater. Number 2 has to be 616.
Oh, you know what? I was already getting ready to write down 616.
Nah,
because when you revisited it, you said that was your favorite. So, but fair enough.
But I think the commercial success, this is the first time seeing him pop out and show out like that. So I was like, cool, man. It's
True.
It's good.
Can we
You're a
do
Dardis guy, you said.
Yeah, for sure.
Pardon.
Let's do what's it called? The quick ranking of Drake for him and for Kendrick for me as well.
Oh, of course.
Just do your top 5 in order, and I'll give my 5.
Top 5?
So just go 1 to 5. Yeah.
So obviously number 1 is Family Matters.
Yep.
Like number 1, that's unequivocally. I think that's if we had a proper ranking, this would be like the only one in S tier. Number 2, Push-Ups. I don't even think first person shooter was a diss. Like I don't like. For me, I reckon that goes down the bottom. Like I don't.
Fair enough.
I don't see it as. He's the one that took offense to it. They weren't actually offending him. You know what I mean? And B, they reached out. So for me, that's at the bottom. And then
So the things, let me just clarify my answer. The reason I said that is not because it's got to do with the beef. Just as a song individually, that song slaps. So that's why I put it as
Yeah.
number 1.
Well, that's just the thing. Obviously, a few things can go into what influences your decision.
yeah.
I only have it here so we can round out 5-5.
Yeah,
but also
5.
it did in a way kick off the beef.
Yeah, it
'cause
did. Yeah,
gave
for sure. But
Kendrick
for me,
something to respond
I was
to.
like, now for me, it's like because we're ranking it because of the beef. So for me, it's at the bottom. And then I would go. So I've got Hard Part 6 and
TaylorMade.
TaylorMade, the higher one, and then Hard Part 6, the one. I guess that's number 4.
Yeah.
and then TaylorMade number 3, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And for me, I would go Euphoria number 1, 616 number 2, Not Like Us 3,
What did you say, 2?
616.
616.
Banger.
Yeah, Not Like Us. Either Not Like Us or Like That. Let's go Like That for number 3. Not Like Us 4, and then Meet the Grams 5.
Oh wow, you had Not Like Us at number 4. Wow, that's
It's a good song. Like, don't get me wrong, it's catchy, but
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's very different to what I guess what we expected from each other. I think we both brought up a little bit of surprises. Like, I did not see him have Not Like Us as number 4. I'm a bit shocked by that.
Yeah.
came out.
Respectable list, no doubt. I don't think you can go too wrong with this. But now is the tricky part. We're going to try and agree on how we rank
Come
these.
on, man.
let's do it.
Come on.
Let me
And
just say,
so-
battling this guy for the last 6 weeks has been tiring. I'm tired, Robbie. You know what I mean? But it's the last one. I think we can manage to just somewhat.
Hey, man.
Work
Hey,
together.
at least you only.
Hey, we're not trying to be here forever. This was meant to be a victory lap episode, so we don't need to get all up in each other's grills and
We're going to have one
break
last
up
say.
friendships on the last episode.
I'm deleting you on Instagram, bro. But we need moderator Salim, not episode 4 Salim. I'm just.
Okay, so we've got the tracks along the bottom. We've already read them out, but there's Euphoria, Family Matters, TaylorMade, Hard Part 6, Push-Ups, First Person Shooter, Like That, Not Like Us, 616 in LA, and Not Like...
Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams.
Meet the
sorry,
Grams.
lastly. We're going to try and come to an agreement about how we rank these into the 5 tiers we got here. S tier, A, B, C, and D being the lowest. So we've got the 10 tracks along the bottom, boys. Let's see if we can play nice. Who wants to break it? Who wants to start it off?
I'll look at it, Ray.
Look, I'll kick it off. We have our first introduction into S tier here. And that's Family Matters, just in case for those that are uninitiated. Once again, the 3-beat switch up, taking shots at everybody left, right, and center. The video,
Cooking.
how it came out, like how quick it came out, everything about it. It's a top 5 diss track of all time. So for here, it's
Any
an 8
arguments,
track.
Akram?
For me,
Good game's a good game.
I wouldn't know if I'm saying S. I'm probably saying I, but A. But to be honest, if it goes to S, I'm not.
I think I
too mad.
gotta feed it to S, man.
Yeah, I'm not
That
too
is
mad at that.
There we
top
go.
tier, and it really does age quite well, man.
Yeah, it
the more
slaps.
you listen
It's-
to
it's
the
getting
more you're
better and better.
Damn, it sucks that it just kind of got overshadowed, but it is what it is.
See, but speaking of S tier, I'm gonna make my argument for Euphoria because that one's the one that started the 3-beat switches. You know what I mean? Drake tagged along to that, and that one was just like I said, menacing. Each chorus or each verse had its own meaning, had its own intention, and it was catchy as well. I know he's not
Right?
going to agree, but
Any disagreements there?
Uh,
You had Euphoria in your personal list at number.
It was 3.
3.
It was at 3. Yeah, and for that, for me, it's close. It's like it's either A or a B. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it doesn't move me enough to put it into S tier.
I don't know. The message was way more clear in Euphoria than it was in Family Matters. It was a very
Are you
meaningful.
serious?
It was a
Do you
very
know-
meaningful.
Do you know what he said? Did you even listen to Family Matters?
I did listen to Family. There was a lot of waffle.
A lot of
And
waffle.
If Drake listened to Euphoria properly
Kendrick
instead of
just
just
opened his mouth. Come
instead of
on,
just listening to
man.
himself, like I
Listen,
said,
Euphoria classic. I can't lie, man. Let me go ahead and.
people sleep on.
Do
I
it a
think it's
favour.
one of the most slept on songs in this whole beef
You think
thing.
slept on? I think it got a lot of props.
Maybe
you know?
because of Not Like Us being so popular, a lot of people starting to forget
Yeah.
about it. And then 616 was just being smooth, like a lot of people forgetting, but not Euphoria. Sorry, was, yeah, S tier for me, man.
Look, I knew there was going to be a Kendrick song in there, so that's we can just move on.
All right, go on, Ray.
Huh?
Go on.
What's the next one?
Tailor-made.
It's up to you what you want to kind of chuck up there, really.
Okay. Let's do our first introduction to D tier. Meet the Grams, ladies and gentlemen. First D tier of the show. It could be potentially.
Looking at Akram's list, I don't know if he has a lot to kind of complain about.
No. But like I said, my fifth ranked Kendrick song might still be a B. You can't and one thing that's been doing my head in with this guy the whole time is you can't discredit a whole song just off one verse. Because Drake has said some wild shit.
A verse connects the songs to. Bro, what are you talking about?
I understand, but
Especially
you
when you're
can't
using it as
discredit-
allegations.
But no other rap battle beef or song, no
Allegations.
rap beef song has ever had the viciousness, like I keep saying, that Meet the Grams
But
does.
when half of it's a lie, who cares? Well, who
It
cares?
doesn't. It
I
makes,
think
everyone cares.
Pusha T's one makes a good claim for that.
Which one?
Just
Nah, yeah. See, my man's speaking
haunting,
facts. He's speaking
haunting
facts.
diss tracks.
He's speaking
Use
facts.
that
Haunting,
word.
but I don't think
Menacing
Meet the Grams
as
at
well.
the time,
And also,
like we said, the way it made us feel, the way
Yeah,
it made
no, you're
us
right.
neutrals feel. Think about what the message is.
but
through.
remember, he's not
He's
really
still got
saying
power.
nothing new. He's not saying anything new. That's the whole problem, like with K Dot. And I'll put Euphoria up there because it was fine. But come on, man, if you do not put that one at the bottom,
I can't put it at the bottom.
bro, come
Look,
on.
I'll give it a
You had it
C.
as your worst song.
I'll give it a C.
C is very generous.
That's what I'm saying.
He had it as his
That's
worst song,
at
didn't he?
Trying to be halfway.
He had
Sorry?
it as his worst song,
But
didn't
like
he?
I said,
Yeah,
Kendrick's
but-
fifth best
Bro,
song
yeah.
is
See
still,
now, you're not looking at it from clear eyes, bro. You've got your little
Okay.
K-bot tinted glasses
What I'm trying
on,
to understand is this guy wants to put that song in the same category as Heart Part 6.
bro. It is
Because
trash.
if we're talking about D-track songs, let me
Half
put
Six
that
is
one
going
right there.
D.
No. There's not even...
No, but that
There's
one's
not
gonna
even
go
letters
in D,
enough for
bro.
that song.
No, that one's gonna go in D. Nah.
I could have keep it moving, man. My battery's
That's what I
about
said.
to
Heart
die.
Part 6, a D.
Oh,
No, well, bro, you can't put that in the C. If you put this in the D, if you're
Ray,
putting
I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry either.
Come on,
see,
bro.
look, all right, you can see
Come
the
on.
agendas here. See, then what's the point in doing this? What's the point in doing
Nah,
this?
Ray. Firstly, you gotta allow. Akram conceded pretty well with Meet the Grams
Like I said, that was
going C.
heavy song.
You didn't have anything good to say really about Heart Part 6 aside from a few lines. I feel like, relatively speaking, I'm sorry, but I'm going to exercise my little veto powers on that one and be like,
Yeah, the problem
Appreciate
is
you.
you're not gonna have nothing in D apart from that track.
maybe we will. Let's talk. Hey, let's keep it pushing. Ray, back to you, my
No,
guy.
the song deserves to be in that. Other than that,
As
song.
You're lucky.
Other songs
You're
has
lucky
to
you
be
didn't.
categorized.
You're lucky you didn't include that new song because he would have had 2 on there if we didn't have a biased operator over there. What's the next one? Let's go push-ups. That's A.
No complaints.
I could allow that.
I'll give it A.
That's A. That's
Look at
A.
us being grown-ups and agreeing,
get
boys.
that.
Well, yeah, everything apart from that last one, which is bullshit because it clearly shows the biasness, which I've been fighting on the show this whole fucking time. If it's not allowed to get pushed down, it's
That
outrageous.
monologue, that closing statement, gonna be lit.
Controversial, but I reckon 616 can go into S as well.
Nah, I think that's I reckon that's
I think
closer.
It's better than push-ups.
No, it's on par. It's A. I reckon that's A.
I'm not mad at that.
I reckon it's A.
Because I really enjoyed push-ups. So if we're gonna put push-ups A, and I have to
Yeah,
kind of
six,
mediate,
six, yeah.
I think I'll go
616 was
616 A, and
nice. The
that's not
sample, the
selling
sample
that's
as
not
well.
selling
It's not just a
616
sample,
The
short.
it's the
KTW,
meaning, though.
Kendrick the Warriors, the Elohim, he's pushing carcasses and all this kind of shit. It was cute.
Shout out 616 again. I
Shout
love
out.
that we
It was
gave
good.
its
It was good.
flowers.
What else? What else have we got there? So we've got like that. I think like that is either a B or a C for me. I would put it as C, but I know I'm gonna hurt some feelings, so I'm gonna be nice about it and put it in B. Once again, for the same reasons
I'm
I said,
tossing up
it's
I'm
between-
gonna take that as not
tossing
much
up between,
opposition.
I'm tossing up between B and A, so I'm happy to put in a B. It's a fucking banger of a song, though.
It
Man.
is.
But then
man.
it's only the last bit, and he says, it's not big, whatever, the big me, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But the-
it's not beef inducing, but
The
it's
way
the
that
song itself.
It is beef inducing, really.
No, but I
that's
mean, I
what-
don't know, but
but-
he's not saying anything like heavy on it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's a mad song.
That's what we're talking about.
The it is almost like a PG lead up to what ended up being the bloodbath, and even that to me was really smart the way Kendrick did it.
I feel like
Just
it was
just inviting enough to get Drake to come out and play.
it was basically Control Part 2, but once again, I don't know, like that little
Hey,
bit.
look, I think we're all in agreement then.
Yeah, happy
B's
to.
okay.
Uh,
We're doing pretty well so far.
gonna be-
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to be a bit controversial again and say I like Taylor Made. I might put that up as a B just because of its shittery, its fuckery.
I would put it as a B. For me, I liked it for the creative element of
Yeah.
using AI.
Look, and I thought
that's something
it's
completely
redeeming.
different.
Honestly, that's its redeeming
I thought the
quality.
baitness
Is that
of
it
it
was
as
a
well.
bit creative at the time with all the AI shit going on.
Yeah, that's
So
a
B.
that's a B, man.
Taylor Made has done well for itself, man.
Bro,
I said,
the
I'm gonna say that
creativity,
much.
the bait that he did, the stuff that he dropped, and obviously, I think people just obviously got upset because at the time
It was very
they
controversial.
were like, "Oh my god, you
it's in
can't."
bad taste. It's in absolute bad taste. But this is war.
Because I think AI, that's when like the whole Chat GPT and AI, like everything was going a
Yeah,
little
it
bit
was
crazy.
very timely.
So
It was
people were like,
topical. We got 2 more boys.
all right. So it's not like us, and what's it? It's
First person shooter.
first person shooter. So I don't know. See now, if we're comparing the beef for me, first person shooter. I look, as a song, it's a banger. So as a song, I'd put it as a B. But part of this beef, I'd put it as a C.
Yeah, it
Because
unfortunately is
it
the
doesn't-
part where J. Cole made his little line and then rebuffed it. So
Hey,
off
we're
that
taking-
strength, I'm
we're
going to put
looking
it
at
in D.
Just isolated. We're just looking at the song in itself. Don't take.
No, I'm joking.
I was going to say it's an A for a song in
An
terms of the beef.
A?
B. As a
How
song,
come
like I said,
being
I'm looking
very
at it-
generous, Ray?
Like I said, I'm just
Come on.
looking at it as a song.
He's been that's just right. No, like as part of the beef because we gotta link it back to the beef though. And this was
Okay,
I
but
know
link it
it
back
was
to-
the opener, so something had to open.
It did. So obviously, what pissed Kendrick off was the fact that these two were talking about how great the both of them are, and that in its
Also, the
own
fact that
way,
they wanted him on the song as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, what Dre kind of did behind the scenes, where he wanted Kendrick on the song, and then apparently he was going to do something shifty. So there's some. There's something to be said right
I need
there.
to go back and listen to episode 1. God, it was shifty.
Shifty.
There's something to
About
be said
that.
about the song being kind of exclusive of, hey, me and Cole are the best out here. So it ain't as innocent as I feel you're making it out to be. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. It wasn't really trying to kick off a storm, but
Man, it was just two guys having fun, man, rapping their asses off, fucking doing the Spider-Man meme at each other, playing chess. That was come on, that was fun. I don't know, but in terms of this, yeah.
Well,
Just
look,
the song
Akram
itself, like
said
this-
A, so
this song
I
for
feel
me-
like you might be agreeing with Akram.
This is
then.
the first Drake song I've put on my playlist in goddamn like 8 to 9, 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for that song to be bopping like that and me to put it on, yeah, I'll give it that.
I feel like there's not much. I feel like you're arguing just because Akram said something regarding to Drake. A is
I
a
told
good
you,
ranking.
Robbie,
Are we
Robbie,
agreeing?
No,
on
no, but
that?
I don't agree that it's
because
it's
of
not
the
up
beef,
there. Yeah,
it's the way it
I'm saying
relates
the
to the
beef. Yeah, I'm saying.
That's strange that Akram's arguing for it to be higher. I did not expect.
But he's
this
more
to
talking
happen.
about as a bop, like
Yeah,
as a flat
regardless
out
though, I
bop.
didn't
Let's put it as
expect it to
beef then.
happen.
Because if we're talking about beef, then Meet the Grahams needs to be an A. If we're just talking about
True.
beef.
What?
If we're just talking about beef.
Talking
and what
about a
could
daughter that doesn't exist.
My God, you in this one verse.
Bro, bro, I'm telling you, let's not go back over this because that whole thing, it's a trash verse. You know it, whatever.
Okay.
You know what? Hey,
so,
guys.
So,
I
all
guess
right,
In 5
I'll
years when
go.
the daughter comes out, we'll be
Yeah,
reassessing
we could redo this one, yeah. And hopefully Meet the Grams, yeah, it'll definitely move up if that's the case. But you're lucky it's not even
To
in D.
double S
You're
tier.
lucky I got overruled by.
I'm gonna go ahead and move first person shooter to B.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. All right.
Leaves us not like us.
A,
Our theme music.
easy. Can't even call it a B.
I don't think that's a bad shout.
Yeah, the numbers can't drop it any lower than an A. As much as I'd like to criticize it and talk about the K-botters, I can't. It's an A.
Well done, gentlemen. And I must
fairly
say,
fair.
gentlemen, this is very.
Bro, this
Agreeable conversation.
not at all. I got overruled by one, and that's bullshit. I call
Where
bullshit
would
on
you
that.
have put Hard Part 6? Because, yeah, I'm not moving it from there. But where would you have put it?
No, it's the worst, but it's also going to be the worst. The worst of Kendrick is bro. That is as bad, bro.
But Meet the Grahams, you can't deny the impact of when he dropped it. That's huge.
The
whole
impact-
30
the
minutes,
impact,
that
yeah.
adds to the song.
The impact?
To the notoriety of the song, yeah.
Look,
Why
I mean,
are we not-
if
why are we not
it's
talking about
very
the impact-
fair.
why are we not talking about the impact of verse 1, 2, and 4?
we're going to talk about like,
75%
if
of
you're
the
going to give it
songs-
a little moral victory, then cool. Give it a little moral.
Okay, right.
uplift.
75% Meet the Grams. What do you give that? Everything else other than that daughter verse, what would you give it?
Yeah, it's pretty fire. But bro, he got fed information and he went out and he released it thinking he's dropping a bomb, bro. Come on, bro. That's bullshit.
So-
it's bullshit.
As told by the experts here at the Kendrick vs. Drake Beef podcast, we've got S tier songs from this beef: Family Matters and Euphoria,
Play that.
A tier, Push Ups, 616, and Not Like Us. B tier, Like That, First Person Shooter and Tailor Made Freestyle. C tier, Meet the Grahams, and all the way at the bottom,
I told you, D is,
thinking up the pile.
D is too good for this song.
You're lucky. You're just lucky we didn't include that new track with the shoes. That would have been in the F tier.
But no, guys, I feel like that's a solid tier list right there.
It came together much better than I expected.
Yeah, you can't, honestly, really hard to argue against.
Probably getting overruled on that one, but that's fine. We would have had a nice little gap. We would have had a space for C, and then we could have brought down first person shooter to C, so then there's something in the gap. And that would have been fine. It would have
I think
been
we've even
two,
agreed
two
though.
at the top for A, two at the bottom from D. It would have been like, hey, look
You
at
know
us. We're not biased. We're such open-minded, individuals. But nah.
Still, even if you want, put Meet the Grahams down to D, but it still shows that Kendrick won this. He's got more songs in the A than in the B.
Would have been little moral victories.
Well, that's the tier list, guys. Just as a quick fun thing, man, before we go to closing statements. I know Ray ready for that one. We might have to flip a coin for who goes first.
I
like
got
they do in
nothing.
the
I got
courtroom.
nothing.
Nah, it's not going to be
Ray,
crazy.
we'll let Ray close that off. But just again, we didn't really get to talk too much about how you guys enjoy these guys' music just outside of the beef. Quickly, Ray, what are your top Drake songs? And not necessarily just his biggest songs, but songs even if it's deep cuts, shit that you really rock with.
That's such a tough question because the boy, as you guys know, keeps us fed. He puts food on our plates consistently year in and year out. There's no 5-year absences. You know what I mean? So we're always getting hit. So there's so much to have to pick from. But without further ado, I guess I'm not gonna do it in any order. Yeah, I'll just say 5.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think obviously Wu-Tang Forever.
Oh.
That's up there with me.
Okay.
I gotta include one. Nothing was the same. Look, I could have said Pound Cake.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, I could have done that. But those are like up there with me. You know what I mean? And I think number 2. I feel like I should include the whole damn. If you're reading this, it's too late because that moved mountains. That moved generations. But if I had to pick one from there, I'd probably have to say like I don't know, Star 67 or what's the one with Lil Wayne? Used to.
Yes.
Used to, like one of those two, that's fine. But I'll go with Star 67 or whatever, right? Number 3, I'd have to put like Feel No Ways. Feel No Ways is a banger. That track can be played at any time, anywhere. But it hits best when you're feeling some type of way about someone. It hits like crack, that one. Number 4, I'd have to start including some features. So obviously I'd have to take in one of the Future features because I do preach What a Time to Be Alive is one of my favorite albums. So I'd have to say probably maybe like Digital Dash. I think Digital Dash would be up there for me. Mm-hmm. And then number 5, I'd have to go back to OG Drake, which would be either Thank Me Later or his mixtape. Probably the mixtape. Everything on that is a banger. I'll probably have to go, this might be controversial, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Oh, man, it's going way, way back.
Yeah, it's a shout out.
Nice.
For me, Kendrick, just personally for me, just because the song means a bit, Good Kid, Mad City, from the Good Kid, Mad City album, obviously. Then I would include in that same album, Money Trees. Backstreet Freestyle also has a thing for me, but
don't go back to your hood to plant no money trees.
Which he actually does a lot of, if you actually did some research.
I was just copying. It's a good lyric, that's all, man.
So I said Good Kid and Money Trees, Rigor Mortis.
Rigor Mortis, oh, that's a good shout out.
Euphoria, got to put that in there for sure. It's definitely up in my top 5, if not top 3 of all Kendrick songs. And for my last one, it's either going to be...
Anything from Mr. Morales?
No. I'll say straight up.
just checking.
But from DNA, I'd say either DNA or Duckworth. Duckworth for me is, I don't know, for some reason just gets
DNA.
me.
Yeah, that's
DNA is
storytelling on Duckworth.
And then DNA, he's just rapping his ass off. So that's the kind of rap that I like personally. Not this pop shit, but
R&B shit.
Yeah. So yeah, DNA, Duckworth, you choose.
Well, boys,
was in nothing from
oh shit! How did I forget? No, the middle one. How much a dollar cost? That for me is definitely my top 3 song as well. Yeah, how much?
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing from How to Pimp a Butterfly.
How much a dollar cost?
Yeah. Isley's Theory.
Oh man, damn, that album was so funky.
Is a star.
So funky.
It was amazing. That was top tier.
Man, musically, especially
we missed
if you listen to that album with good speakers. Jesus.
Yeah, that was a top tier album. The whole thing. I got a bone to pick.
Well, boys, we've come to the end. It's been a pleasure, honestly. I can't believe we made it this far talking this much shit about this one topic. Again, we just wanted to do this for fun. We weren't trying to do any deep dives. So I hope you guys had some fun kicking it with us. I have to really thank Ray and Akram for keeping the conversation alive. Sometimes I didn't know how the heck we were going to get through a whole episode, but we did it, man, and we had a lot of fun doing it, so I hope you had fun listening to it if you are listening to it. But, yeah, boys, take it away. Any closing statements to kind of bring this thing to an end?
All right, I'll make this super quick. All right. First and foremost, guys, have you just seen the whole narrative on this is that Drake lost regardless of what happened. You've seen it happen in this room. You guys have seen it in your own rooms. You've seen it on chats. You guys have seen more thumbs down, more than anything. This whole thing was designed for Drake to lose. And I think the problem was it was a lose-lose situation. If he responds, he's going to get crushed because that's the narrative they're trying to push. If he doesn't, he's a bit of a pussy. So he really never had anything to gain from this apart from handing Kendrick a stimulus package. And I don't even know how that helps him. He's just getting crushed. People say any any publicity is good publicity. People say that, right? But I don't know. So he never really had an angle to win. And so even though when I was approached this, I was like, I don't really like it because the narrative is already being pushed, and so therefore I'm pushing shit uphill, right? So I just wanted to make that clear. And I think people know that. People who are is it objective? Yeah, people who are objective can see that. If you're already too far gone down the K-botters, you never had a chance. You could never see that at all. If you look, like we said in history, Family Matters is going to go down as the best rap song of this beef. I won, even if, I swear to God, even if I wasn't a big Drake fan, I would believe so. And we've said it before, it ages like wine. You know what I mean? There's a reason why, right? The production and the raps, everything is on fire. So I wanted to say that he never had a chance, regardless of what happened, but he took the industry on. He became Thanos. He took on the Rap Avengers. He took on what? Like ASAP, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, K-Dot. And K-Dot is recognized as the best storyteller of our generation. Can you imagine an R&B rapping singer going toe-to-toe with this guy? Drake is known. He's 50-50 rap. He's 50-50 R&B. Is he not?
I wouldn't say he's 50-50.
What would you
He's
say?
a rapper first. But I'll let you cook.
But the majority of his
he's
tracks,
50.
the majority of, if you look at his mixtape, I think that he starts off as R&B. He's become more of a rapper because now he feels himself. He's in a role. You know what I mean? He's in a role. But anyway, regardless, he's more something else than Kendrick is anything else. Like, Kendrick is just a straight rapper. Pure, like, in a box. Yeah, straight out of the box. Right? He doesn't, what's his secondary talent? He doesn't. Like, this guy can rap.
Secondary talent. Putting on big shows.
Yeah, he's could have put the crown weighs heavy on his head, right? And at the end of the day, I think the last point that I wanted to make is, I think you made it before pretty well. Drake is too big to fail. Most rappers, when they get shut down, like we saw Ja Rule started playing Milwaukee games, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you
Where's Ja?
Where's Ja? So at the end of the day, even though like this is a good exercise, did he take a little bit of a hit because everyone was trying to bring him down? And this whole Jay-Z angle, and I don't want to talk too much. At the end of the day, it's not an L. Maybe it's like, maybe he got hit with a gut punch, but the entity that is Drake, the business, the idea, this motherfucker will just keep on rolling. He will just keep steamrolling. And he's just one away from Michael. When we crack that, we'll never talk about Kendrick ever again. We're done.
Take it away, Akram.
All right, so I don't know if the viewers or anyone at home can tell, in regards to Drake, I do not like this nigga. But I'm going to try to keep it as objective as possible. Like Ray said, Drake started this up in the hip-hop, in the R&B kind of stratosphere. My biggest issue with all this was who Drake was trying to be. You know what I mean? And I feel like Kendrick showed him. When you're trying to come into Kendrick's lane, he's trying to show him, look, you're not about this life. And even as a neutral, seeing this whole Family Matters is a good song, but I don't think it has the depth or character that Euphoria has, or even Meet the Graham has. You know what I'm saying? Drake's good at double entendres when they're quick and witty. They're like a 2-year-old, a second grader would like be able to figure it out. You know what I mean?
2-year-old.
They're not that deep. So I'm just going to say he's been classed, or he's been shown there's levels to this. And honestly, I still think that Kendrick didn't reach fully into his bag either. There's still more if he wanted it to, or if Drake wanted to continue it. But he heard how dejected and pretty much suicidal Drake was sounding on the Heart Part 6, so he decided to just leave him there. But look, Kendrick says, I like you with the melodies, do your thing. Like Ray said, he's too big to fail. He's already got his super big core fan base. Don't think that's going to be affected, but he won't be respected in this element of battle rap. I don't know if he'll be able to do another battle rap again and be looked at like seriously, because he, like I said, take the casual fans out, take the numbers out, just looking at the rap, what was said and how it was said, he got killed.
Came out second best.
He got killed.
Fair
Not even
enough.
second best, he got killed easily. So
Trash.
Kendrick actually did show what he's, and I think a good thing as well is everyone says Kendrick's not been battle tested. This is our first glimpse at seeing at him. Like, he can only get better from here, man. So I hope more niggas would try it.
No, for sure. It would have been interesting to see how Kendrick went if you didn't have like corporate and K-botters and everything behind him. It would have been interesting to see if he would have moved as many needles. But
I guess we'll never know.
yeah, we'll never know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone can go with him. Someone who's supposedly from the streets as well. That I don't know. Like, let's say if him and Pusha went head to head, what would happen there?
Well, look, I think that just about does it for us, for our time here. Again, it's been a pleasure revisiting this beef with two of my friends.
Quick shout out to Azam though for doing all this
Holding
for us,
it
man,
down
for
behind
holding
the
it down.
camera, no doubt.
Yeah, been making this possible without him.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it, man. Melbourne, you know we love you.
Peace.
Laters.
Well, what was that, bro? You're trying to stumble my parade? Violins? What was that, bro? Huh? What was that?
I was looking at the time, honestly.
Yeah.
9:15.
Nah, well, I thought we would have started there like at 8:40. I didn't think we did way more, like in the lead up to that. Like I thought I'd have a good like 10 minutes to like rattle on without being told to hurry the fuck up. You know what I mean? But
Nah,
at the
you were
time,
cooking. I swear you were cooking, but I was also like, shit, it's 9:15.
yeah, no, the time, yeah, I
We
think
started at 8:09.
he told us
So
when
we
we
get
get to
like-
9, we've got half an hour
Did
left.
An hour and 7 minutes. So we still got like 23 minutes. If we really wanted it.
Yeah, I had a couple points to make, but I was like, oh, now I feel like I'm going over the
Hey,
top.
no, you know what? Bring it in. The cameras are still rolling. edit this shit in. Right.
We back,
Bitches,
bitches.
you know, wind it back. I want to hit these points because we've.
Let's go.
we haven't
Outtakes.
talked
Keep
about
cooking, Ray.
the outtakes.
We're going to add this to the end. Keep cooking.
Well, now I was heated up before. I don't know. Fucking Jesus. God damn. No, what I was going to say is this whole Jay-Z angle, right? It's brought to light so much because obviously at home you got a little string board, you know what I mean? Showing like, you know, when there's like a crime scene and there's like blah, 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 and it shows you like how everybody's linked, that type of thing. For a long time, I'd been wondering, how did Kendrick get pushed up so high? Like, because he's known by the core rap fans, right? And he's respected, and that's fine. There's nothing about respect on whatnot. But he chooses to stay in his lane. He pops out like every once in a while, you know, doesn't show like does his Instagram. I think his last 4 tweets are all like songs that he's released in this thing, like, and that's all his Instagram. So he's very
private guy, though.
He's a private, yeah. So he keeps it. So for him to go from 0 to 100, it's all made sense that Jay-Z's the one orchestrating this whole thing.
So you reckon the Illuminati's got him where he needs to be?
He's just being used as a puppet. Spotify used him. Spotify were like, hey, we're going to push your song. Jay-Z is going to be like, cool, we're going to get you to the Super Bowl. And it's going to make it look like we're insulting Drake, even though apparently Drake declined 2 Super Bowls. But that wasn't even mentioned at all.
He wants to get that off his chest.
But no, there's the case. But whereas like, it all kind of makes sense. And you can tell with the backlash that the hip-hop community gave Jay-Z, which I don't think Kendrick got told, hey, you need to release it. But maybe he felt some type of way because he's actually a big fan of Lil Wayne. One of his first mixtape was co-signed by Lil Wayne. And he actually did the same, like the track list. Like what was it? It's not overly did it, is it? No, I don't know if it's
Overly dedicated.
No, you're talking about from back.
Yeah,
Wayne.
back. Yeah. It was co-signed. He requested. So he's like a big actual Wheezy fan. He's like, a couple of years, like our age. So when, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. He's big fan. So when he said, when he came out with that, after Jay-Z did the whole Super Bowl thing, that linked way too many dots together. Way too many dots to be a coincidence. It really, really did. It really, really did. But look, once again, it'll all come out. It's all like speculation, but it really makes sense because why is K-Dot, apart from obviously changing his old label and, changing his label and trying to like branch out and create a new him, new me, this is very unlike him at all.
I don't know why the success of Kendrick has to demand like there's something going on here and why that can't be just like a natural success. That's my only beef with that argument, right? It's almost like there has to be something. Like he's doing bigger numbers than Drake. There has to be something afoot. If this is what I've been saying about the beef. If the beef carried the momentum the way that it did, and it sucked everyone into this the way that it did, and Kendrick just happened to come out on top, and then his numbers just happened to do the numbers that they did, and not like us being a catchy song and doing the numbers that it did. To an extent, I could see why Jay-Z would pick Kendrick along, or it wouldn't just be Jay-Z. Obviously, he's involved to an extent in this Super Bowl performance selections. But Kendrick has done the work to get picked without it being some kind of forced industry hand at play here. I don't think it needs to be that deep, you know?
No, but that's fine.
I think we agreed on the last episode, too, that Kendrick plays this, like, anti-corporate America or anti-music industry figure. And he has been in the industry long enough, and he was with Interscope, if I'm not mistaken, so they're very ingrained in the industry. So he's not some, like, independent artist that's really anti-everything. So I agree with you.
Sometimes he goes
plays
to, like,
that a bit too much. No, but I'm saying he has
in terms of the number.
Right. He's got backing from the industry. He's got, like, vested interests that would like to see him succeed. But I don't think that hand needs to be kind of forced and orchestrated to kind of, like, he's not some industry.
But it's not just that as well. But it's also, I think this is, and I missed this whole part, is the Drake hate. He's been picked to be the anti-Drake shield, essentially.
I think,
because he doesn't like him. Because he doesn't like him, and so they're using him to like, why they want to crush Drake. Has he been too successful too long? I don't know, something to do with him being Jewish. I don't know, whatever. You can, like, reach for whatever. You can reach out for whatever. But definitely using him because, bro, the reason why I say about the numbers, this guy's been in the game for like 10 years, right? You don't, like, we know what he has. He has what he does, bro. You can't say it's all of a sudden it's like boop, like that's not how things work, bro. That's not how they. And bro, he's won Grammys. He's won Grammys, bro. He's won Grammys.
Could happen.
He's won Grammys. He's won, like, all these other things. So are you telling me those ones that were actually critically acclaimed and awarded didn't also do the same?
It happens all the time. Yeah, sometimes critically acclaimed doesn't translate to popularity.
But over time, bro.
This was just a perfect combination of a lot of things.
Rap album of the year over Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City. These Grammys don't mean shit.
No, but I'm saying he's won awards. Like, all right, don't use the Grammys.
But it doesn't translate.
Clearly, it triggers you.
It leads to popularity. This was obviously the perfect combination of different things that just, like, kind of brought him to the forefront, and not like us this being a huge ass song. And at the end of a beef that ends up being like the victory lap song, that to me it's not, like, inconceivable. How does that happen?
No,
like,
I'm not saying it's like that's the only way, but I'm saying there's elements of it, and whether you see some of it or not, that can show you how your bias is. If you can't see stories from both sides, that's on you, dog. I'm not trying to plant anything in your head. I'm just saying how I can see it from both sides, and that's the way that I see it. I'm trying to convince you and say, hey, he was only botted. His numbers are purely from bots. His 100, his most successful is only pure bots. Sure, 80% of that is probably just pure fans. But that little bit that tops it up, and why is it getting topped up? Why is that happening? I'm asking the bigger question.
For Drake, exactly. That's the other question.
You can't tell me with a straight face that this has never been done the same. If you're going to say for Kendrick, then you got to say it's the same for Drake.
But at least that's who. If that's the case, Drake's always done that, and that's what he is. So he hasn't switched, like, his personas. He hasn't, like, oh, I'm gonna, like, fuck the industry. No, but he's saying fuck the industry, yet he's allowing the industry to fuck him. Like, what is this, man? Like, I don't.
Anyways, the hate Kendrick's been getting for this Super Bowl shit is unnecessary. If you got beef, put it up with Jay-Z.
But I think it's with Jay-Z. I don't think it's with him. I don't think nobody really has beef with him. Like,
then he shouldn't feel a certain way. He shouldn't feel bad for being selected.
So why did he release that trash ass song?
He's got his own agenda.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Peace for real.